The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set.
Hey, welcome to another episode of HBCU. It's your boy Pough. Just me tonight, man. I got my man Aunt Petty Murphy, man, praying for you. He's got taking care of some family things. But we got one in store for you tonight. Looking forward to it. We may have some special guests stop through. We'll see. But man, we had to do this tonight, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. Shout out to Coach Buddy Pough, man. We're going to get into it, talk about him. Definitely a legend. If you hadn't heard, he's announced that this will be his last year. So this will be his first game of the season. So definitely looking forward to talking about that, praying that he has a very good season and a good send-off. But we're going to get into it, man. We definitely got to talk about this upcoming game this weekend. But yeah, you know what it is. But first, man, y'all know what we got to do. Let me do this first before I go there. Shout out to those in the chat, man. Good man, Craig Hall, man. Praying for you. If y'all don't know, Craig is asking for help. I think he had said he had a heart attack, survived a heart attack, and is asking for help. Definitely, if you can, reach out to them, help him. Prayers, anything you give can, definitely go to a good cause. Good man, Doc Holiday. What's good, Doc? Hope you're doing well. I know you're excited over there. Can't hold it in. I already know what the deal is. Craig already put a score prediction in. We're going to get to that, Craig. We're going to get to that. But, man, I do want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You could be anywhere in the world. You're here with us. And we appreciate that, man. If you enjoy our content, if you do us a favor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and also super chat, man. Help us. We trying to get to the SWAC championship game this year, man. Help us out. So, but y'all know what time it is. We're gonna give a shout out to our sponsors over at BetOnline. BetOnline.ag. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Can't hold it in. I already know what the deal is.
BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
And we're back. Want to go ahead and get started, man. Talking about first. What's good? Jay Boone in the building. What's good? I want to go ahead and get started. Let's talk about Coach Buddy Pough. Coach Buddy Pough announced today to his team, and then it came out to the media that he is retiring at the end of this season. Coach Buddy Pough, if I recall correct, has mentioned that he had 47 years of coaching experience. And he also mentioned that he's been at South Carolina State for 22. Definitely a legend in his own mind. Has produced many NFL prospects, NFL actual players coming out of South Carolina. And when you think about the fact that they primarily recruit in South Carolina, they rarely go outside of their state to get talent and to have the success he's had to compete for championships, to just winning a championship 2 years ago against the team they'll be facing this Saturday. It is a major accomplishment for Coach Buddy Pough to do what he's done and to have succeeded as much as he has. Looking forward to seeing this season how it plays out. I'll probably doing a little bit more deep dive on this and on Coach Buddy Pough. I know he's gonna, so I'm talking about him on Sunday. But man, definitely looking forward to seeing Coach Pough, ride off in the sunset, ride high. Let's see if he can go ahead and do this. Finish his career off in Atlanta in the Celebration Bowl. We'll see. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got to start with what's going on this Saturday. This Saturday, we got Jackson State versus South Carolina State. The before mentioned Coach Buddy Pough with South Carolina State going up against T.C. Taylor in his first year as a head coach, for the Jackson State Tigers. Both teams come in with hoping, I guess, to right the ship in their own right. Jackson State ended with the loss in the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta. And they also want to see if they can come out and, I guess you could say, how should I put it? They want to see if they can come out and prove that they not, just who they were under the previous administration. Coach Buddy Pough wants to come back and say, he was one of the first ones to admit that, hey, we laid an egg last year. We came out, we was a little bit flat. I think they, was on a hangover from championship. So definitely looking forward to seeing them bounce back. Let's talk about the game in itself. Somebody asked here, hold on, let me put it up here. Craig asked, he asked about the odds. What are the odds on the game Saturday? I know when we had Kelly Flicks on, he mentioned that right now Jackson State was an 18-point favorite. I think Dave in HBCU Nightly stated that it was 14 points for Jackson State. I don't know officially what the odds are because they usually don't release those. They usually don't release those on until like Saturday morning or either late Friday. But with that being said, I would not take that. No slight against Jackson State. I would not take 14 points. I wouldn't even take 18 points. If you South Carolina State or a fan or a degenerate gambler, ride them 18 points with South Carolina State. This game is going to be gritty. It's going to be a hard-fought game. I look forward to being a defensive battle, to be honest with you. What's good, Jamon? Jamon asked, Pew, where did you get that shirt? We actually made these shirts for me and Ant for SWAC Media Day and stuff. Unfortunately, we can't sell it, but we'll get there. We'll talk. We'll talk. Craig said I could dig that shirt in my room. I know. We can talk. We'll figure something out. But nah. Jamon said South Carolina State for the win over Pough State. Oh man. But man, like I said, I look forward to seeing this game defensively. This game gonna be in prime time. ABC. There's a lot of games. I say a lot of games. There are plenty of games going to be on Saturday. this is the game that you want to watch. This is game that's going to mean a lot more than any other game that's going to be on Saturday. And you've got some games. Actually, you know what? Let me pull up the list and see some of the games that we have. That'll be this Saturday, but this is, I promise you, this is the game. I know one is Notre Dame, Notre Dame Navy, which will, it'll be an interesting game. But again, it's not going to be this. It's not going to be this hard fought. It doesn't have as much significance. You got Jacksonville State and UTEP. You've got UMass and New Mexico State. You got Ohio and San Diego State. You got Hawaii and Vandy. You got San Jose State and USC. Then you got FIU and La Tech. Let's see what else we got, because I think that's just the FBS. Let's look on the FCS side. See what we got this Saturday. This Saturday, you got North Alabama at Mercer. You got Fordham at Albany. South Carolina State, Jackson State. So, again, I truly believe this is the game, the big game. In D1 or D2 and D3, you got Lincoln, California versus College of Idaho, and then you got Florida Memorial versus LaGrange College. So those are your games, man. Personally, like I said, this is the game. This is the game you want to watch. This game is going to be very, very intense. It's going to be a defensive game. I talked about it last night. Yeah, I can send it to you. I'll get you the graphic. Craig asked, can I send him the graphic for the shirt on X? Yeah, I got it. I got you, Craig. I'll hit you up. But like I was saying, the game this weekend, it's going to mean a lot, especially now, like we mentioned earlier, Buddy Pugh's announcement, that adds an extra layer to this game. Can Buddy Pugh ride out with finally getting a win over TC Taylor? TC Taylor has been on staffs that have played against Buddy Pugh, and what they mentioned last night on HBCU Nightly, 3-0. TC Taylor's 3-0. Can he make it 4-0? Can Buddy Pugh ride out in his last hurrah and get this one over Jackson State? Get this one over TC Taylor? It's one to watch. In the Celebration Bowl, when they played 2 years ago, this game was a close game until it got blown open at the very end. Looking forward to seeing if Jackson State can keep this game close. Looking forward to seeing if whose offense steps up first. That's going to be a big part of this game. Whose offense is going to step up and bring it in this game? That's what I want to see. It's definitely, man. What y'all got? What are you saying? Some of your thoughts. We did have a prediction earlier. Craig said 17-21 JSU. I'm feeling that 17-21, and I think he can go either way. From what I've been hearing about Kobe Fields with Coach Buddy Pugh, I'm leaning a little bit towards South Carolina State. Wondering. Mike asked about the line. Where did I see the line? Actually, I got Kelly Flicks when he was on. He saw it. He was telling me about it. I have not seen the line, but I've seen everything pointing to like 17.5 points for Jackson State, analytics wise, like what they thought the game would be. But again, I'm not 17 points, 18 points. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. I'm gonna give y'all a little hint because we've had Alan Bell from the early age on. We've also had Emory Hunt, who does a lot of LCS scouting and picks and stuff for bets. One thing I do know, Vegas doesn't, when they don't know a lot about the teams, they don't necessarily watch, they will definitely throw out a line that you can make some money off. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. WNBA. some of the WNBA lines were, especially in the beginning of the season, were all over the place because a lot of cappers don't watch WNBA. A lot of bettors don't know. They just kind of go off of what they hear. They don't really watch WNBA that much. So lines will be all over the place, and they won't make sense if you're an avid watcher or if you're an average, fan. So that goes the same with HBCU, FCS football as a whole. A lot of these teams aren't watched a lot. They aren't scouted a lot. Outside of your North Dakota State or maybe even James Madison, which James Madison is now FBS. But those teams aren't really, people don't pay that much attention. And with that being said, analytics is the it's the see all be all, and they just go with what they see. And we all know is analytics are, as someone once told me, statistics and analytics are like bikinis. It shows a lot, but it don't show everything. And we all know that the game has to be played on the field. So I hope that helps, MEAC. If I can find it, a line, I'll shoot you a message and let you know. But like I said, last time that was what I heard. 18 start seeing analytics at 17. Dave said he heard was leaning towards 14. So we shall see. With that, let's see. MEAC says he was talking to Craig. He said, I feel you on field position turnovers in the second half will determine the winner. I have it 24-21. This one could go either way because there's so many unknowns. And that's facts. We don't know which Kobe Fields we're getting. We don't know who the quarterback at Jackson State. We kind of are guessing, but we don't know who the quarterback is at Jackson State. So with that being said, man, we don't know what the offense is going to look like. Jay White, what's good? We are hoping that we will know something soon. So, I guess that'll help, put some bettors minds at ease. But yeah, that's what it's looking like as far as the game. Anybody score predictions, what you got? I said 21-17. I'm leaning more South Carolina State right now, but I can see Jackson State winning this game. It's not, I don't know. I think a lot of people putting too much stock into what Jackson State lost versus what they kept and what they brought back and what came. So Jay White says 28-14 South Carolina State. I know Jay White has been saying that Jackson State was going to lose this game for a while. So it's going to be interesting to see. Also, something else that factors into this game that a lot of people hadn't talked about, the bands. We don't have a band competition to determine the national champions this year. It's going to be something interesting to watch. There's something interesting to keep up with. So definitely looking forward to seeing the bands, seeing them perform, because again, this isn't just like your normal come out, perform, do what you got to do. This is now a all-out competition because a national champion will be crowned at the end of the year. So that's something to keep in mind. Looking forward to that. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. I know we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about Senior Bowl watch list. The Senior Bowl is in January, but the watch list is put out, kind of naming some of the players that have at least garnered some of the attention of some of the biggest scouts. Senior Bowl is a major event every year. It helps get some guys solidified in certain positions. It helps get some people recognized to get some guys recognized to earn a chance to play at the higher level. So Senior Bowl watch list came out. I'm trying to pull it up now so we can see. Here we go. On the Senior Bowl watch list, you have from Alcorn State, Jarvian Howard. From FAMU, Kendall Bowler. From FAMU, Javon Morgan. From FAMU, Marcus Riley. From Grambling, Sundiata Anderson. From Howard, Aneem Dankwa, excuse me. From Central, Davis Richard. From Central, Torricelli Simpkins III. From Virginia State, Willie Drew from Virginia State. I don't know about y'all. I don't know how y'all feel about the Senior Bowl watch list, but there's a name that's not on this list that's making me question, because he keeps getting snubbed for awards, different mentions, and ironically, his name is on the Deacon Jones award list, but his name isn't on here. And that's Bubba Adams. I know I joke about, saying Bubba, well, Tom could be cheating. I'll be saying that, messing with him and stuff. But Bubba has arguably been snubbed for so many awards. That chip got to be a boulder. Honestly, that boulder got to be a mountain at this point. He's got, I don't know if you can say, saying he's got a lot to prove, because he's proven it. He's done the work. He led the SWAC in tackles. Yet he's getting no love. I don't get it. Craig asks, how many players on this list versus last year? I'm gonna have to actually look that up. It does seem like it's a lot of names on there this year. I'm trying to think who made it last year. If I'm not mistaken, I know Isaiah Lane, Aubrey Miller, and I want to say one more player. So I think it was maybe 3. But right now you've got about eight on this list. Let's count them out. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8 players on this list right now. Now, I will say, granted, everybody who's on this list doesn't necessarily mean they're going to make it. However, you got 8 versus 3 so far. But yeah, back to this. Bubba, how is he not on your list? I mean, arguably he's top 10, probably top 5 linebacker in HBCU. I don't get how he's not on your list. He's probably top 10, in FCS. So you don't see this kind of production on any level. And Craig asked, he asked a good question. He says, does Bubba pass the eye test? He asked that to somebody else. Does Bubba pass the eye test? In my eyes, he does. He's fast. He's quick to the ball. Great awareness. I don't know. I mean, excellent. You don't get 150 plus tackles just by being subpar, I guess you could say. I don't know. I don't get it. How is he not just a staple on everybody's list? And I don't know, man. But let's talk about the guys that are on here. We can start at the bottom and move our way up. Davis Richard. Davis Richard is going to be on everybody's watch list. I feel like he has one of the best chances of getting drafted for a quarterback that we've seen in a long time. Akil Glass should have been drafted, in my opinion. But I think Davis Richard is another one of those quarterbacks who has a great chance of getting drafted. If he grades out well, he does well against UCLA. I think that can definitely pinpoint him, being in the draft. Aneem Dankwa from Howard. Blue was talking about him Monday on the show. He is somebody who's definitely well deserving. all MEAC team in, know what I'm saying, for the last 2 seasons, first team selection in last year. So he's definitely somebody who you know saying good option. Sundiata from Grambling, Sundiata Anderson. He is your preseason SWAC player of the year, defensive player of the year. 50 tackles, 12 and a half for loss, 7 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 pass breakups. I mean, he does a lot. Definitely look for. I think he can end up making. I think Davis Richard and Anderson should definitely make it. Linemen, offensive linemen, typically do get a good chance at the Senior Bowl. We saw the guy from, I can't think of his name, the guy from North Dakota State get that chance. I think last year, the year before last. Marcus Riley from FAMU, Javon Morgan, Kendall Bowler. Kendall Bowler is a name that keeps coming up in pretty much any preseason watch list. He's on there. He's on the Aeneas Williams watch list. So definitely not surprised to see his name here. Javon Morgan is another name that's on the Aeneas Williams watch list. So I'm definitely not surprised to see his name on this list. Marcus Riley definitely was overshadowed, last year, but he's got a chance to be a breakout, to have a breakout season. Can definitely understand why he's on here. And Jarvion Howard, no said. What do you need to say? He's 1275 rushing yards last year, 12 touchdowns, all SWAC first team. Yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. What's good, Edwin Moore? Edwin Moore is in the building. Craig Bross said they don't market Bubba enough. That's something, maybe. He's on, as far as I know, he's on billboards, he's on flyers. He's I get everybody, if you can say Bubba, and people already know who you're talking about. So I understand what you're saying, but I don't know if it's a marketing thing. I don't know why, if it's something else there. But yeah, he says Bubba equals cushion. I can kind of see that. I get that. He said somebody now. Trophy Chase said, Craig, that's an insult to Bubba to compare him to Cushion. Cushion was not good. You know what? Kuechly. Luke Kuechly. That's a name. That's a name. And I might be over-exaggerating a little bit, but okay. Aunt Marsh, appreciate you. He said last year there were 14 players on the Senior Bowl watch list to start off. So there you go. We ended up with 3. We got 8 this year. I think we should let me look back at this list again. Jarvion Howard, Bowler, Sundiata, Davis Richard. If I had to pick off of this list and say I think they definitely make it, I think I could go with those 4: Davis Richard, Sundiata Anderson, Kendall Bowler, Jarvion Howard. So I would love to see all 4 make it, plus some. So but we'll see, man. We'll see. No, excuse me, forgive me. I'm trying to pull up my notes. Also, something coming up this year, the MEAC. The MEAC has decided to host weekly head coach video conferences. This is something the SWAC was doing last year. I believe they were doing it before that. Oh, that's interesting. It says Sundiata was on the list both years. So there you go. That's interesting. But like I was saying, the MEAC is set to host weekly video conferences. So we'll be able to have more information about head coaches, their recaps of the previous week's games, highlights of the upcoming week's games, any situations going on as far as in the MEAC. This is something the SWAC was doing last year. So looking forward to hopefully being able to be a part of that, get more information for you guys, provide for the MEAC. It's definitely gonna be interesting, man. I know when the first one come up, my first question, Coach Buddy Pough, hey, what was it that made it, made this decision, since something easy for you to stomach. So definitely, man, definitely looking forward to this. I think it's a great opportunity for us to, get more information, know what's going on with the coaches, with the schools, each institution, behind the scenes, what they're thinking about. So that's something definitely look into. Now, man, and we're gonna probably make this a little short one tonight, but this is one that caught my eye for both reasons. LSU is set to play 3 HBCUs. They're gonna play Mississippi Valley, Texas Southern. Both of those games will be at home, and then they're going to travel to Baltimore to take on Coppin State. I had a conversation with Ant earlier, and it's interesting, that they're going to I mean, I understand why they're going to Baltimore. Angel Reese is from Baltimore. It gives her a chance to play back at home. But it's something that they chose Coppin State versus maybe someone like, Maryland or UMBC, something like that. Anyway, but it's just interesting that that they chose Coppin State. It is great. I think it's a great opportunity for Coppin State. It's excellent for Angel Reese. That place gonna be packed. It's gonna sell out. Good revenue gain for Coppin State. Definitely agree there. 100% agree there. Because all you got to market is say, hey, you can market two ways. Come support as we take on the defending national champions. Come out and as we take on hometown hero Angel Reese. And it doesn't matter how you market it, what you say. That game gonna sell out. That game gonna make some money. Resale on the ticket is gonna be crazy. But it's definitely interesting. I look forward to seeing this game. I'm looking forward to, all the HBCUs playing in, LSU playing these different HBCUs. It's interesting though. I would have loved to see them play. If they're gonna choose HBCUs, take on Jackson State. We all know in the tournament 2 years ago, when they played Jackson State in this game, he said, "Yo, bro, eating Whataburger." What? But yeah, it was interesting in the tournament game a couple years ago. Jackson State looked like they were about to take it, like they was going to, get a big win over LSU. LSU, I think it was, oh my God, in the fourth quarter when LSU made the comeback to get ahead and stay ahead. So I would have loved to see them take on Coach Tamika Reed and Jackson State, but they got Mississippi Valley and Texas Southern, which, should be good games. We'll see, man. Looking forward to seeing that. Also, man, I actually got notification. If you don't have it, go check out the HBCU Game Day app, man. You get information on the fly. But, man, North Carolina A&T said their cheerleaders got a gold bid at the NCAA. Just the first, since the North Carolina A&T State University Aggie cheerleading program is beginning its season with a blue and gold touch after they received a gold bid at the 2023 National Cheerleading Association College Camp in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So kudos to them. We'll probably touch on this a little bit later, a little bit more. But man, definitely, happy for them. Also, the MEAC, the television schedule is out for this season. Let's see what we got. Of course, they got the SWAC MEAC challenge or MEAC-SWAC challenge. On the first, Howard at Eastern Michigan is going to be on ESPN Plus. Bowie State and Delaware State going to be on ESPN Plus on September 2nd. Virginia State and Norfolk State will be on ESPN Plus on the 2nd. Winston-Salem State versus Central be on ESPN Plus. Morgan State at Richmond will be on Flow Football. South Carolina State and Charlotte be on ESPN Plus. The following week on the 9th, you got Delaware State versus Army on CBS Sports. Morehouse at Howard on ESPN Plus. South Carolina State at Georgia Tech on the ACC network and ESPN Plus. Morgan State at Akron on ESPN Plus. Norfolk State at Hampton on ESPN Plus. North Central at North Carolina A&T on Flow Football. I do want to go to something. We often have talked about possible HBCU versus FBS upsets. Morgan State at Akron could be a very interesting game. Akron has not been good in the last few years, so that'll be an interesting game. On the 16th, you got Norfolk at Temple on ESPN Plus. Delaware State at Richmond on Flow Football. Howard and Hampton on ESPN Plus. Then you got Central at UCLA on the Pac-12 network. Watch it now because that network ain't gonna be that long. Then you got Townsend at Morgan State. So let's see what else we got. On the 23rd, you got Central. Mississippi Valley versus Central. You got Delaware State at Miami, Norfolk State at Townsend, Albany at Morgan State, the Citadel at South Carolina State. On the 30th, you got Morgan State at Yale. You got Virginia Lynchburg at Delaware State. You got North Carolina A&T at Norfolk State. You got Campbell at North Carolina Central. On the 7th, you got Stony Brook at Morgan State. You got Delaware State at Central Connecticut. Central at Elon. Virginia Lynchburg at South Carolina State. Howard at Northwestern. On the 14th, we got Howard at Harvard. Tennessee Tech at South Carolina State. And Norfolk State at Tennessee State. On Thursday, October 19th, you got Central at Morgan. That game gonna be intense. On Saturday the 21st, you got South Carolina State at Delaware State, Norfolk State at Howard, South Carolina State. Then the following Thursday, you got South Carolina State at Central. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be another good game. 2 back-to-back battles for North Carolina Central on a Thursday. The following Saturday on the 28th, you got Howard at Delaware State. You got Morgan State at Norfolk State. On Saturday the 4th, you've got Delaware State at Morgan State. You got Norfolk State at Central. You got Howard at South Carolina State. On the 11th, you got Norfolk State at Delaware State. Morgan State at South Carolina State. North Carolina Central at Howard. And then on November 18th, you've got South Carolina State at Norfolk State, Delaware State at Central, and then you've got the Celebration Bowl on December 16th. Yeah. This is a lot of HBCU football will be on ESPN this season, Flow Sports, and also CBS, Pac-12 Network, ACC. So it's plenty of opportunities for us to see some good HBCU football. But it all starts on this Saturday when South Carolina State takes on Jackson State. Man, if y'all got any more predictions, any more questions, man, drop them in the chat. We'll touch on for a few minutes before we get ready to get up out of here. But I do want to say, man, shout out to everybody who's tuned in, who's shown support. Let's see here. Craig says, who QBs will Jackson State play this? We don't know. TC is supposed to announce at he's supposed to announce on game day. It's probably just going to be seen in the depth chart comes out. What's good, Renard? Ant drops in. He says he got South Carolina State 24-21. I don't know if they scored that many. I don't know if they scored that many points. I got to find out what the under is. I'm taking the under, whatever it is. So taking the under. I don't know what else we got, y'all. look forward to talking again with y'all on Monday when we come back. We got we'll be talking SIAC and CIAA football in the upcoming season. We've got 2 special guests coming in with us on Monday, so definitely look forward to that. Trophy Chasers got 17. Got 17-13. 17-13. I can see that. Down south, right? He said right now, South Carolina State 17-14. Trophy Chase came back. Also said if it's a blowout, I see South Carolina State winning. Yeah. Definitely like I said, looking forward to looking forward to seeing Coach Pough in this game, seeing how the players react to Coach Pough. I want to see how Jackson State, I didn't mention this earlier, but how Jackson State responds after that first initial, blow they may take. I'm looking forward to seeing how they respond to Coach TC Taylor. I want to see how Coach TC Taylor responds to the first little bit of adversity. I think he's got the pedigree. He can do it. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do though. Yeah, man. But man, I again want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Hate to cut it short on you tonight. It's hard to do this when when your boy not with you, when your brother. Hey man, love you. Take care of business, man. We'll talk. But we can get up out of here. We'll be back on Monday. Or as they say, if the Lord sees will, and we'll be back, man, to handle things like we should. Thank y'all again for tuning in. And like that, we out.
This show was presented by betonline.ag.
Bring me my money.